Let me tell you about a woman named Sarah. She was 52 years old. A few days after her breast biopsy, she opened her pathology report with shaking hands. Her eyes slowly moved across the page until they stopped on 4 unfamiliar words. Invasive ductal carcinoma. She read them again, then again. The first word terrified her. Invasive. She immediately thought, does this mean the cancer has spread throughout my body? Then she noticed the second word, ductal. What is a duct? And finally, carcinoma. Is that just another word for cancer, or does it mean something more? Within seconds, Sarah had far more questions than answers. If you've ever looked at a pathology report and seen these same words, you're not alone. Every day, thousands of people receive this diagnosis without anyone explaining what each word actually means. The truth is that every word in the diagnosis invasive ductal carcinoma has a very specific meaning. And once you understand those meanings, the report becomes much less frightening and much easier to understand. Today, I won't just define these words. I'm going to take you inside a real pathology laboratory, look at an actual breast biopsy under the microscope, and show you exactly why a pathologist makes this diagnosis. By the end of this video, you'll understand what invasive, ductal, and carcinoma really mean, and why these 3 words are used together in your pathology report. I'm Dr. Maya, and welcome to Histopath Academy. Before we understand what invasive ductal carcinoma is, we first need to understand what a normal breast duct looks like. Think of the breast as a network of tiny tubes called milk ducts. Their job is to carry milk from the milk-producing glands to the nipple. Interestingly, the most common type of breast cancer begins right here. In fact, nearly 8 out of every 10 invasive breast cancers are diagnosed as invasive ductal carcinoma, often called IDC. Under the microscope, a healthy duct is beautifully organized. The cells form a smooth, well-defined wall around the duct. Their nuclei are small, uniform, and evenly spaced. Every cell has a place, and every structure has a purpose. But cancer doesn't appear overnight. It begins when some of these cells stop following the normal rules. They multiply uncontrollably, lose their orderly arrangement, and gradually become abnormal. At first, these abnormal cells remain inside the duct, but once they break through the wall of the duct and enter the surrounding breast tissue, the diagnosis changes. That is the moment pathologists use the word invasive, and that's exactly what we're about to see under the microscope. Now, let's do what every pathologist does before making a diagnosis. Let's look at the biopsy under the microscope. At low magnification, we are not looking at individual cells yet. We're looking at the overall picture. Can you spot the difference? On one side, the normal breast tissue still has its natural architecture, but on the other side, something looks very different. Instead of smooth, well-organized ducts, we see irregular structures spreading into the surrounding tissue. This is the first clue. A normal duct stays within its own boundaries. These abnormal glands do not. They have broken through the wall of the duct and are now growing into the surrounding breast tissue. That single microscopic finding changes everything. This is exactly why the pathologist uses the word invasive. The word invasive does not automatically mean the cancer has spread to other parts of the body. It simply means the tumor has grown beyond the normal duct and entered the surrounding breast tissue. This is one of the most common misunderstandings patients have after reading their pathology report. And now that you've seen it with your own eyes, the word invasive suddenly makes much more sense. But we're not finished yet. The next word in the diagnosis is ductal. To understand that, we need to zoom in a little closer. Now let's zoom in a little closer. At this magnification, the overall architecture begins to disappear, and the individual structures become much easier to recognize. Take a moment and look carefully. Do these glands look like the normal ducts we saw earlier? Not quite. Normal breast ducts are smooth, round, and evenly shaped. But these structures are different. They are irregular. They vary in size and shape. Some are distorted. Others have sharp, angulated edges. Instead of staying neatly organized, they are scattered throughout the surrounding breast tissue. This tells the pathologist that these are not normal milk ducts anymore. They are malignant glands that originated from the lining of the breast ducts. And that's exactly why the second word in the diagnosis is ductal. The cancer began in the cells lining the milk ducts. It didn't start in the fat. It didn't start in the connective tissue. It started in the ductal epithelial cells. That's why the diagnosis is called ductal carcinoma. In fact, this is the most common type of breast cancer, accounting for nearly 80% of all invasive breast cancers diagnosed worldwide. Every gland you see here is another piece of evidence supporting that diagnosis. But there's one final question we still haven't answered. How can a pathologist tell that these individual cells are actually cancer cells? For that, we need to zoom in one last time. Now, let's zoom in one final time. At this magnification, we're no longer looking at glands. We're looking at individual cells. This is where the diagnosis becomes unmistakable. Take a close look at the nuclei. Do they all look the same? They don't. Some are larger, some are darker, some have irregular shapes. Instead of the small uniform nuclei we saw in normal breast tissue, these cells have lost their normal appearance. Pathologists call this nuclear pleomorphism. You may also notice that the nuclei stain much darker than normal. This is called hyperchromasia, another classic feature of malignant cells. And if you're lucky enough to catch one, you might even see a cell in the middle of dividing. That is called a mitotic figure. It tells us that the tumor is actively growing. When a pathologist sees these abnormal cellular features together with the invasive growth pattern we saw earlier, the diagnosis becomes clear. These are malignant epithelial cells that began in the breast ducts and have invaded the surrounding breast tissue. That is why the final diagnosis is invasive ductal carcinoma. Now, those 4 frightening words on the pathology report tell a completely different story. They are no longer just medical terms. They are a precise description of what the pathologist actually saw under the microscope. Let's go back to Sarah's pathology report. When she first read the words invasive ductal carcinoma, they felt frightening and impossible to understand. But now, those same words tell a much clearer story. Invasive means the tumor has grown beyond the wall of the milk duct and into the surrounding breast tissue. It does not automatically mean the cancer has spread to distant organs. Ductal tells us where the cancer started. It began in the cells lining the milk ducts, and carcinoma tells us the type of cancer. It is a cancer that arises from epithelial cells, the cells that line the ducts and many other organs throughout the body. Together, these 3 words are not simply a diagnosis. They are a detailed description of what the pathologist observed under the microscope. And that's why pathology is so important. Every treatment decision begins with an accurate diagnosis. The surgeon needs it, the oncologist needs it, and most importantly, you deserve to understand it. A pathology report should never feel like a page written in a foreign language. It should help you understand your condition, ask better questions, and have more meaningful conversations with your healthcare team. The more you understand your pathology report, the more confident you'll feel as you move forward. Knowledge replaces fear. Understanding empowers decisions. I'm Dr. Maya, and this is Histopath Academy. I'll see you in the next lesson.